Kings and Queens, Tribe. I'm so glad to have y'all back with me today because tonight is a new moon. Listen, the energy of our new moon is going to invite us to new beginnings. Also, plans and rebirth. And while we're speaking about plans, we're going through gate 62. And gate 62 is the gate of preparation. Okay, we're passing up under Cancer at 24 degrees, 55 minutes. Listen, I want y'all to go ahead and get your journals, get your tea, get your blankets, and let's get into it. While you're at it, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell so you won't miss any of our future exploration videos. So preparation energy, you already know what that is. Gate 62 finds us in our throat energy center, also in our throat chakra. And look, guys, I've been looking around and really doing some deep studying and trying to find out which Sephiroth we're on. And I decided to go with Hod. So Hod is our 8th Sephiroth on the pillar of severity. Hod is ruled by Mercury. And we all know that Mercury is Thoth or Hermes or Enoch or Metatron. Speaking of preparation, I almost feel like I over-prepared for this one tonight. I kind of just got a couple of downloads and just went down the rabbit hole, And some of the stuff that I was studying didn't really need it for today, but it was so interesting. And I had so much time on my hands that I over-prepared. And so our new moon energy is going to invite us to explore. Yeah. And we can deepen our alignment with our intentions and asks us to focus on what we want to grow and expand in our lives. So this new moon arrives with a plan in her hand, guys. The darkness of this new moon invites us to draw inward and to explore the next practical steps that we need to take to be prepared for the fulfillment of our ideas. Like I said earlier, I had got a lot of ideas, a lot of downloads, a lot of different things, and I was really trying to prepare and make sure that I was ready for today. But also feeling a little under prepared as well, because I know I'm going to need, some more equipment and stuff like that. And it kind of sort of scared me away from even making the videos. Last week, I did have a video that I promised y'all that I would get out, but I wasn't really able to. Like I said, stuck in my head. But we didn't miss anything because last week's lesson was really just getting us prepared for this lesson. It was also gate 62. Just had some journal questions in there that we could have discussed, but we're going to go ahead and discuss it in this one. Take some time with this new moon and think about what actions you can take while you're incubating your dream. What foundational actions can you do to prepare the way for the next right step for the fulfillment of your idea? Definitely been doing some contemplating and thinking about what I'm going to do next. Getting a plan together, redoing my plan, just like really being inside of myself. Just kind of put my phone on sleep mode and kind of just became the hermit that I am, away from everybody, away from society, just trying to figure out some things and get to know myself a little bit better, get to know my plans a little bit better, and just kind of rearrange some things that I've been working on. Because I'm not gonna lie, I've been a little stuck, and getting a little discouraged about the stuckness. So yeah, this study today, I hope it helps me just as much as it helps y'all. When you're prepared, You create room for yourself to receive more. When you allow yourself to receive more, you expand upon what you already have. When you expand upon what you have, then you have more to share. So challenge. Trust that you'll be prepared for the next step. To not let worry and over prep distract you from being present in the moment. To let the fear of not being ready keep you trapped. Have I been guilty of all this week? Yeah. Worrying and over prepping just because a lot of the things that I planned, not all the way out, but like up until this point, a lot of things have been falling through for me. And it has been distracting me from being present in the moment. Because like I said, I've been inside myself. I've been doing a lot of spiritual studying, a lot of astral travel, a lot of in my head. And I really haven't been in the moment. I've been a little distracted. And I'm not going to lie, a little worried too. But hey, I'm human. And I know you guys are dealing with that as well. So if y'all feeling me, if y'all been dealing with any over preparedness or worrying about if the plans that you've made are going to fall through, if you've been a little guilty of that, I want y'all to go ahead down there in the comments and just like give me a high five or something, and or share what you've been dealing with and what you did to overcome that worry and that stuckness. The optimal expression of this gate is the ability to be attuned to what is necessary to be prepared, to trust that your alignments will inform you of everything that you need, relaxing and knowing that you'll know what you need to know when you need to know it. That is so hard to do, guys. To plan and say, okay, my plan is good. I'm going to leave it where it is. And I'm going to sit and I'm going to wait to watch it unfold. Yeah, right. That is so hard to do. So when I read over in the Human Design book, Gate 62 talks about getting your facts together, getting your facts straight, and having a lot of knowledge about a thing, right? And then really waiting for divine timing to share it. I know a lot of times we get pumped up pride sometimes and we're like, yeah, I know this, I know that, and I know the other, and I want everybody else to know that I know this and I know that and I know the other. But you're actually supposed to wait. You're supposed to wait for the invitation for your opinion and your facts and all that. You're supposed to wait for that, because if you don't wait for someone to ask you your opinion or ask you for the facts or to ask you for your perspective on it, most times people are not going to receive it. So then you're really just wasting your energy. And again, we want to save our energy for things that we know that are going to benefit the collective or benefit our tribe or even benefit ourselves. A lot of times we're all like, I just wanted to help. But if you're overextending yourself, if you're barging your way into the door, if you're giving people facts and knowledge without them asking for it, are you really helping? Or are you really in the way? And a lot of times, we don't, if we think in the thought that, okay, I'm here to serve, I'm here to be a servant, then at that point, that transitions you to make you sit back and say, hey, if I'm serving, then that means I'm waiting to be asked to serve. I'm waiting for divine timing to tell me that now you're needed. Now we need your gift. Now we need your skill right here. And you have to be attuned with that. And to be attuned with that is to always be present in the moment and be aware and pay attention to your surroundings and pay attention and listen to what people are actually asking you for. So on the chakra side of this gate is our throat chakra, right? And when it's balanced, we're good communicators, okay? And we're contented, and we find it easy to meditate and more artistically inspired. I find that a lot of time people have to learn how to communicate. We struggle with that a lot. With conveying our message or how we feel, or if we're asked to help or anything. I know I do. We kind of sometimes we struggle with getting the proper words, or even the right tone, even the right rhythm on how to explain ourselves. Not even explain ourselves, but to get the message out about what we're actually really saying. And I also struggle with that this week. Trying to, well, all the stuff that I was learning and all the things that I was studying, and I'm going down this rabbit hole. What am I going to say? How am I going to get that out to you all so that it could be some information that's actually effective, that you could actually apply to your lives? So again, right here with our throat chakra, Vishuddha. That's the Sanskrit name. But the archetype here, when it's functional, a great communicator, right? And associated senses is sound and hearing. Remember, I was talking about earlier where we have to actually really listen to the collective and listen to the tribe to see what actually they're needing, what they need help for, and to be able to wait for that invitation. And then after we've gotten that invitation, to communicate those facts and those opinions and our perspective in a way that it will help and be effective to the collective and to the tribe. So when we look at the tree of life and we talk about Hod is especially the sphere of magic. And when you talk about magic, when you think about magic, you think about spells. In language, and talking is spells. You know, in the beginning when God said, let there be light, and there was, it was speech. It was the wind, it was the breath, it was the sound, it was the vibrations. Because it's the sphere of formulation and forms. And therefore the sphere in which the magician actually works. Whenever we get a download and we get inspired and it comes into our head, right? And then we think about that thing and we contemplate on it and we decide if it's something that we actually want to do. When it is something that we actually want to do, we speak it out of our mouths. Once it's spoken, it has to take form in some sort of a way, or else we're getting into the unbalanced expression of this gate, of this chakra, and of this sphere of dishonesty. And at that point, we're attracting negativity to ourselves, okay? So we don't want to just vainly speak things. We don't want to speak out of turn. We don't want to do a lot of self-depreciation, or even saying negative things about each other, because that is energy, that is vibrations. And if we're doing that, once we put it out there, there's no taking it back. It has to go somewhere. It has to create. So we want to make sure, we want to be mindful of what we say and how we say it to people. We can't just be talking. You know, a lot of people say, oh, I'm just talking. You shouldn't just talk, because your words are magic, and they're magic because they have God's spirit in them, and they create just as well as the master, the Most High created. So then it brings me in mind of back in the Bible days with the Tower of Babel. And the way they said that, we're going to build a tower that reaches heaven, and we're going to get to heaven. We ain't got to do none of that stuff that Moses came down and told us that we needed to do. And y'all know what happened. The tower was destroyed, and the languages were scrambled up, and people weren't able to communicate with one another. That is card 16 in the tarot. And on our eternal tarot cards, with our Egyptian cards, it's called fragility. I also want us to be very careful of gathering facts and being too intellectual. Like I said, we could get stuck in our heads, and that will cause depression and insanity and things of that nature. So we don't want to always be too overly analytical about things. Sometimes we just need to sit and let things be. And then kind of chew on stuff and meditate on the things that we know as well, so we can put two and two together, put our facts together, put our opinions together to really kind of sort of turn life around, turn things around, and figure things out. That requires going inward, though. That requires meditation. We also, like I said, with that intellect and that logic type of thing, that's our minds. That's not really necessarily us. Again, I want y'all to realize that our minds make judgments, and we are the controller of our minds. Remember, last week we talked about the chariot, and our real true selves are in this body. And we're the ones who need to take over that animal instinct, that flesh instinct, that lower self instinct, and start guiding our lives the way that the innermost wants us to guide it. A lot of times, like I said, we don't listen to our intuition because we talk too much. We don't listen, and we don't apply. So we need to sit and meditate. So then we want to talk about the unbalanced expression on the flip side of things. Unbalanced expression is fear and worry, over prep, and allowing the plan to override the flow. Again, guys, things happen, really beautiful, great things happen when we sit in divine timing and we wait to respond to divine timing. And we are faithful in knowing that all of the things that we're prepared for are going to eventually happen for us. That we just really need to be patient and even not to worry about it. Because if we start having fear and worry and doubt, again, y'all, that's going to attract negativity to us. And that's not something that we want to do. Because we've already planned things and over-prepared and all that just for it to just blow up in our faces and go wrong. That's why we want to make sure that we preserve our energy and wait. The innermost will tell us, we'll definitely know when we need to go ahead and act out that plan, but we need to wait for that plan to happen. So over in our throat chakra, our unbalanced expression is the masked self. That's the shadow archetype. And this pain is often caused by childhood traumas. You remember when you're a kid and your moms and your parents, all the older people, they said, you need to be seen and not heard, right? And so that made us feel like our opinions and our feelings were not heard or not respected, right? So we need to cope with this rejection and start getting into our real selves. A lot of times we're incapable of being honest and true with expressing our feelings. When people ask us to do things, we're like, oh yeah, yes, without even thinking about it, overexerting ourselves. Sometimes the masked self appears as a clown. someone who's always laughing, making jokes, and taking unrealistic positive views about life in an attempt to hide tragedy or the feeling that no one loves us or no one wants to listen to us. So again, I just want to say and reiterate that you may not have gate 62 in your chart. I do not have gate 62 in my chart. If you don't have your chart, I'll put a few. I should have done this in the beginning, but if you don't have your chart, I'm going to put a few up for you. A few places you can go get your chart for free. But I don't have this defined in my chart at all. My daughter does. But we are currently transitioning in gate 62. So then that means we have the ability to harness this energy without even being around someone who has this defined in their charts. Preponderance, it says in our human design book, the gate of details. And so it says, I think. It's the ability to conceptualize, to organize details. You can have all of the facts and all of the skills and all of the knowledge in the world, but if you don't have the ability to communicate this, then it's sort of kind of useless, right? And so you kind of want to deal with someone who has, or wait till we're passing through gate 17, which is in the Ajna chakra and in the Ajna energy center. So also I just want you manifestors and you manifesting generators to be careful about committing to things too quickly, or saying that you're going to do something too quickly. The reason why we're manifestors and manifesting generators is because our energy center, our energy motors down in the bottom here, the root and the sacral, they go straight up to our manifesting throat, manifesting mouth. And so you want to be careful about just going ahead and blurting things out and just saying things, because over there in our chakra system, telling us that if it's too open, that we're overly talkative, dogmatic, we're self-righteous, and arrogant. You can get really arrogant and self-righteous when you feel like you got skills about something, you have skill set for something, or you have a lot of information about something, or you know the facts. Like, I know the facts. I know what's going on. I know. You know, you can know everything in the world, but if people don't receive you, if you can't communicate it over, if it doesn't come over well, it doesn't matter. I want to bring in some corresponding tarot. We're in the eights today. Okay, the Eight of Cups, right, is disappointment. And never a welcome visitor in life. But we learn soon enough that the faster we acknowledge its presence, the quicker we can bid it farewell and move on to ourselves. See things that they truly are instead of how you want them to be. That goes back to us blurting out things, and inserting ourselves into situations and inserting ourselves into things without being asked. It is what it is, and we need to learn to face reality. If you're not being asked, if you're not being invited, then you shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be talking, right? So our Eight of Wands. This card represents opportunity and communication, and the notion that it's sometimes who versus what that can get you ahead in the game. Exactly. So we should be mindful that it's not just about who. It's not just about what. It's who is asking, and who is giving the opportunity for you to be able to communicate your skills and your knowledge and your wisdom. So again, guys, understand that you will get the opportunity. The opportunity is going to come. It's just a matter of when and who. Okay, so our 8 of Swords now. We all sometimes find ourselves in a self-imposed mental prison, trapped by our own negative self-limiting beliefs. It's actually an enlightened relief to realize we're the orchestrators of our own inability to move, because that means we can unravel those inner anxieties and head out of it, right? So we don't have to get into ourselves. We don't have to go inward and not be in the moment and get into our mind and get into that rabbit hole. Okay, over to the 8 of Coins or the 8 of Pentacles. Let's get our coins. You are close to success. And now is not the time to give up. Even if you're weary or frustrated, keep going. The rewards are going to be well worth it. And you'll look back at this phase as a test and one you've glad to overcome. Look, guys, how many times have you almost given up, but you stuck with it? And then you're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I didn't give up. Oh my God, I'm so glad I stuck with it. And then you have all these lessons that you learned in the process. Listen, just like the sun rises and the sun sets, just like we have night and we have day, if it's night, know that the day is coming. I really want us to get out of our minds. And just as much as we work really, really hard, we want to play hard too. Because life is all about enjoyment, right? And satisfaction. I like Currency when he uses this acronym, JETS. Just enjoy this shit. So when we're going into our meditations and we're setting up our altar, I want to give us a few items to use. For one, the color blue is our throat chakra color. And a couple of stones we can use is a sunstone, owlite, and amethyst. Amethyst is my favorite because it's Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius. And this is the age of Aquarius. Amethyst is really a good one to be able to use. And I love citrine as well. A bowl of fruit is good to have at your altar. Also, lapis lazuli is also another good one. Turquoise jewelry, blue lace agates, a bottle of white musk. Take your affirmations into meditations with you as well, guys. And before you go into meditations, we're going to give you a couple of questions, a couple of journal questions, a couple of things that you can contemplate on to think about while we're transitioning this gate. Do I worry? What do I do to manage my worry? What can I do to trust that I know what I need to know? What proof do I have that I am in the flow of preparation? Is there anything in my life right now that I need to plan for? Am I over planning? Does my need for contingency plans keep me stuck? So our emotional freedom technique affirmation goes like this. Even though I feel pressure to do something, I now choose to relax and trust the power of my dreams to call the right circumstances to me. And I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So our earth is passing through gate 61, and gate 61 is the gate of wonder. And it is calling upon us to relax and just bask in the moment and be in awe of life and everything that's around us. It wants us to look up at the sky, go somewhere where you can see the stars if possible, and gaze at the face of the cosmos with awe. Bring this feeling of awe into your everyday life. And again, you guys, I'm feeling this energy of this gate because I have been doing that, just like gazing in the clouds, looking up and just saying like, oh my God, like I'm here. Oh my God, this is the world, you know what I'm saying? And this is how things is. It is what it is. Also this week, let's not forget to exercise, okay? We want to exercise twice a week. We want to eat well. We want to take care of our bodies so that our bodies can take care of us. We want to make sure that we're drinking our 8 cups of water a day. I have been doing this. I'm a firm believer of practice what you preach. I haven't been going to the gym, but I have been doing some home exercises. And a good yoga pose right here for your throat is the shoulder stand. And look, I've tried this one a couple of times and it's kind of difficult, but trust me, when you do it, oh my God, it gives you such a relief like you would not believe. Look, if y'all haven't done yoga before, if you're not doing yoga, you should get out and do some yoga. Do it at home if you're a little embarrassed because, you're not used to doing the yoga poses because they are sometimes a little bit difficult. You can get on YouTube, find some YouTubers that are doing yoga. Go to some yoga classes if you just want to get that energy from the collective and be in people's aura. Maybe you'll find someone with gate 17, that'll help you get your plan out there. But also, we've got a couple of affirmations that we want to pass out to you all tonight as well. I create the foundation for the practice of mastery by engineering the plan of action that creates growth. I am in the flow of my understanding, and I use my knowledge and experience to prepare for the evolution of what's next. I am ready and I am prepared. I trust my own preparation and allow myself to be in the flow of what's next, knowing that I'll know what I need to know when I need to know it. A few more affirmations here. I am starting to speak up for myself. What I have to say is worthy of being listened to. I delight in my self-expression and in all my creative pursuits. I listen to and acknowledge the needs and wants of others. I always speak from my heart. My thoughts and speech are considered before I utter them. My voice is becoming stronger and more compelling. Okay, guys, we're going to use these affirmations when we're feeling a little weak, when we're feeling a little test of our faith, when we're getting a little discouraged, when we're getting a little down. We could also use them before we meditate and after we meditate. Okay, guys, I think we're there. And we've explored everything that we can explore. I don't know why I was so stuck and over preparing for this one because it was actually a real good one. And it was kind of easy when I just kind of sort of sat in the moment and got with the flow. Please, y'all, comment and let me know if any of this that we studied today resonated with you all, or if anything, or if you have any questions or anything that I could do better to be of service to you all. I would really, really appreciate it. In a couple of days, not next week, on July the 19th, Gate 56 expansion. And Gate 56 is also in our throat energy center. Listen, kings and queens, I really enjoyed y'all being here with me today, because you could have been anywhere else in the world. You could have been doing anything else in the world. But you guys chose to spend your time with me. And for that, I thank you. Listen, y'all. Always be your authentic self. And for those who are being their authentic selves, thank you for being.